So, some kid named Nicholas is now the youngest champion in WWE history. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. I mean, I had won a world title by that point in time, but what is happening? What? WrestleMania's high, or it's drunk, or it's on drugs, or it smoked a shit ton of crack, or all of the above. Holy god damn it. Oh my god.
Only two men have beat The Undertaker on the grand stage of WrestleMania. You're looking at one of them right now, Roman Reigns. The other, Reigns' opponent tonight, Brock Lesnar.
We've seen so many tonight step up to the moment, step up to the bright lights, step up and perform. You just mentioned it, Cole. Roman Reigns knows what it takes on this stage to perform at this level. But tonight, a second opportunity at Brock Lesnar. He cannot let this one slip through his fingers.
Last year at WrestleMania that Brock Lesnar got his hands on the Universal Championship, defeating now WWE Hall of Famer Goldberg. And now 371 days later, Lesnar's back, defending the title against Reigns.
Welcome to your last WWE match, Brock. Make it a good one.
The most decorated athlete in combat sports history, Brock Lesnar, making his
Sad thing is, he couldn't even do his alternate job well. You know, it's like when he's off screen, it's supposed to mean, oh, he's, you know, once he's back with the Universal title, it makes the Universal title match much more important. Like, no, that didn't happen. His fight with Samoa Joe, it didn't add anything to it. Didn't add anything to his fight with Braun Strowman. Honestly, I'll be glad to see Roman take it off of Brock, because, you know, it'll be the first time since February of 2017 that the Universal title has been held by a person that actually competes on a weekly basis.
Superstars is leaving this match without a few new scars.
The following contest is for the Universal Championship.
A championship that fucking sucks and doesn't matter.
From Pensacola, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, Roman Reigns. His opponent.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. Tonight, fighting out of the corner to my right, the Samoan conquering beast of the box office, the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion, Brock Lesnar.
I'm getting I'm getting this sneaky suspicion that Paul Heyman's going to have a higher effect in this match than he usually would. I only feel that way because usually his sermons praise higher than, you know, just... I don't know, something about it just makes me feel like Paul Heyman might not end the night as firmly in Brock Lesnar's corner as we might think. Roman turns heel. That'd be funny.
And a trio of Germans to start this match. We're seconds into this match, and Roman's taking 3 trips to Suplex City. Superman punch Brock's down.
Hit him while he's on his knees, you idiot.
And the champion rolls out of the ring. We saw this past Monday, Brock Lesnar able to survive 5 Superman punches from Reigns and still delivered an F5 of his own.
And Roman Reigns is not going to stop. He's not going to wait.
Off the steps in a third one, brings Lesnar down. Reigns has got to get over the ring champion's advantage. Reigns can only win the title tonight via pinfall or submission. Realizing that, it's Lesnar back in the middle of the squared circle.
I think it's a great game plan to keep.
Lesnar now go to the other side and hit hard. You can see the knot beginning to well up already on the forehead of Brock Lesnar.
The pace has got to be this. It's got to be fast. Roman Reigns has got to keep Brock Lesnar moving and off his feet.
Watch this. Watch Brock tumble out of the ring to the floor.
It's reactions,
And the more Reigns can do this, the more his confidence will grow through this match against the Beast. And Brock is stunned here in the early going. I know Roman trays a little calm and collected. And a belly-to-belly throw, and you can hear the thud as Roman's body hit the floor. A bone-shaking suplex. I know Roman overtly appears cool, calm, and collected before this fight. But I can tell you, Roman's like a duck on a pond right now. Outside, everything's calm, but inside there's belly-to-belly throw, and Roman hit hard. Roman hit hard.
We heard you the first time. We heard you the first time.
There is so much physicality and impact.
CM Punk
Neither
chants.
man has a chance or the opportunity to become.
Look out. No interest in being anywhere near Brock Lesnar when he's in this mood. Roman Reigns is hurt. Brock Lesnar just dumped him on his face.
He's got it.
Oh, God. And now it... Oh, my God. Face first. Roman's face might be shattered. Looked like Brock was going for another
He didn't
belly-to-belly,
land
and
face
then he
first.
just threw Roman Reigns face first right onto our announce table.
And he may have bladed, though.
Back into the ring. Reigns goes.
Nope.
Brock Lesnar just freakishly strong. Battle between 2 titans. There's bound to be some collateral damage. Corey, we've said all along this match is not going to be pretty. Another German suplex to Roman Reigns. This time a release as Lesnar stands up straight, defiantly looks at the WWE fans in New Orleans.
Remember when the Shield got back together? Who won the Raw tag? Braun won the World Tag Team titles, or won the Raw Tag Team titles. However, his tag team partner was Nicholas, a 10-year-old fan in the crowd. Yeah, I'm not making that up. I'm not making that. That's exactly what happened. Braun Strowman went throughout the crowd for a little while. He looked at everybody, despite there being a sea of NXT performers right in front of him, and No Way Jose being front and center. He walked over to the side, went, "You," at a little kid standing on a chair, and went, "Get over here." And then led him all the way out throughout the one side of the arena, the hard camera side of the arena, through the barricade, and said, "Get on the apron and just stand there." And that was it. And then he tagged him in, and then the kid got in the ring, and then ran and tagged in Braun Strowman. And the funniest thing, is that, and let this sink in for a moment, Nicholas, a WWE fan, is now the youngest champion in WWE history. Not even in the commentators' words, the youngest champion period in WWE history was Rene Dupree when he won the World Tag Team Championships in La Resistance, or the Un-Americans, one of the two groups, back in 2005, I believe, or 2004. Nicholas is 10 years old. He's got that beat by 9 years. Wrestlemania is high, drunk, on a shit ton of crack, and drugged up all at once. Well, I'm glad you wanted to hear it from me, because I wanted to put it as entertaining as possible, because Lord knows my reactions haven't been. Anyway, now Roman Reigns is getting ragdolled everywhere.
The mood he's in, tossing stuff around at ringside, the look in his eyes, the smile on his face was that night.
You know what I just realized? Nicholas was just a 10-year-old fan at the start of WrestleMania. Now he has to get a Twitter handle. Now he has to... Shames of WrestleMania 31. But now he has to get a Twitter handle. He's going to have a nameplate and everything. He's going to have to take a lot of sick days away from school.
Pure instinct right there. Roman with a last-ditch effort to try to keep this match even going, to preserve his opportunity to become universal
I just keep looking in the corner of the screen just in case I miss a comment, which is like weird because I don't do that on a phone often. I just do it live streamed over the computer. Oh, Roman Reigns just speared Brock Lesnar, and they're both dead.
Roman Reigns is willing to destroy anything and everything.
And I hate the fact that Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns can't blade. Fuck you, Louisiana Board of Commissions for both wrestling and boxing. I heard you the first time, Cole. I heard you the first time, Cole. Is Brock bleeding? No. He's just that red. Brock Lesnar is like a fucking lobster out of that Stop and Shop supermarket seafood corner or aisle. It's 11:53. Oh boy.
And that was seemingly instinct to roll up and kick out.
And Roman Reigns looking at the official and just saying to referee Chad Patton, two in disbelief. There was the first spear. But look at Brock, how quickly, Corey, he made it back to his feet. He set up the second spear. Was it two and it was?
Somebody did something.
Not quite sure where he's at. Roman Reigns measuring his opponent. Heyman is bleeding with his client. Oh my God! Right to the face.
Who can capitalize? Heyman's freaking cover him.
That caught
The back of his
square.
cover by Lesnar. Hooks the leg. Reigns kicks it too.
Amazing.
I can't believe Roman Reigns isn't out cold after that knee. Lesnar caught Roman flush in the face with a jumping knee. Corey, I don't think Brock Lesnar can believe Roman Reigns kicked out.
Both these men have taken shots that otherwise would keep a lesser man down.
Listen, that very knee would shatter the skull of most normal men. And somehow Roman Reigns kicked out.
The crowd is going crazy for something.
And now Lesnar looking to put Roman Reigns away. An F5 to the challenge.
Something's happening in the crowd.
To retain. Kicked out by Reigns. Wow.
How in the world is Roman Reigns doing
When
this?
is the last time anybody survived an F5? Look at this knee. A nose-shattering knee from Brock Lesnar. I honestly am baffled as to how Roman Reigns is still in this fight in any capacity after the beating Lesnar has delivered.
I think Lesnar is looking at Roman Reigns thinking the exact same thing.
Still stalking Roman Reigns. Going for yet another F5. With more impact. Cover by the champion. And Roman Reigns again stays alive. Lesnar can't believe it. Well, every time Roman kicks out,
Brock is so sweaty that there are pixels on his face. Because it thinks that Brock's face is a screen. Wow. He is incredibly red.
And with the problem with Brock Lesnar is Brock will do it as many times as necessary. Lesnar will stop at nothing to vanquish Roman Reigns. You hear him? Put him down. The beast has had enough. Reigns on his shoulder for a third time. And a third F5. That's it. Call it off. Lesnar to retain the championship. Reigns on heart alone. 3 F5s.
The crowd is silent about the match. Ah, Brock just said motherfucker.
I can't remember the last time anyone kicked out of 1 F5, let alone 3. And the thing is now, Corey, you see Brock, he's trying to figure out what to do. He's thrown 3 F5s at Roman Reigns.
They're chanting boring.
And he just tosses Reigns to the outside.
It's been a fun Mania. Come on, guys.
Just stay down, Roman. Just stay down, Roman. Fight another day.
Don't pull a 32. It's such a good card. Don't ruin it with a lousy main event or ending. Or a lousy main event ending, either.
Lesnar with Reigns on his shoulder. He's not going to do this. Not here. Not an F5 out of the table and through the table.
Reigns went through the table and nobody gave a shit.
Have been delivered to Roman Reigns.
I'm not sure
People
Roman
are booing.
can even get back up
People
to
are
get back
booing.
into the ring.
I'm not sure why Roman would want to get back up. Watch this F5.
Let's see, how many Manias did Cena main event in a row? 20, he was defending the U.S. title against Big Show in the mid-card. 21, he did not main event. He was co-main event, but it doesn't count as the main event against JBL. 22, he main evented against Triple H. 23, he main evented against Shawn Michaels. 24, he was in the three-way with Orton and Triple H, and it wasn't the main event. 25, Edge and Big Show, that wasn't the main event. 26 with Batista, that wasn't the main event. 27 with The Miz was the main event. 28 was the main event with The Rock. 29 was the main event with The Rock. 30 was not the main event with Bray Wyatt. 31 was not the main event with Rusev. 32, he wasn't even competing. 33 last year, he was in a... so at most, John Cena main evented 3 WrestleManias in a row. Roman's main evented 4 now. And he's only been with the company for 6 years. Not even 6 years yet. 5.5 at best.
Brock is enjoying this punishment. At this point, I don't even know if
Something's happening in the crowd.
looking for a 5th F5 on Roman Reigns.
How's it going, everybody?
5. That's it. Cover to retain at WrestleMania. Reigns again.
Who's winning? Brock, but not that anybody gives a shit. Everybody is chanting boring or cheering at something that the crowd is doing. I'm just hoping somebody from NXT interferes or something like that, or Roman turns heel, or God. This main event is making the whole show feel sour. Don't end it on a sour note. Come on, Vince. You know better.
Now it's frustration. Now it's you're just making me mad.
Listen to him. Oh my God. And now Lesnar delivering the straight right-handed blows. You can hear
This is awful. Roman Reigns is busted open.
after every strike by Lesnar. It just made my stomach turn.
Roman got busted open the hard way.
You see the official putting on the gloves. I believe Roman Reigns has been busted open by
Ooh.
that straight right hand by Lesnar. That's the one you could
And that's bad. Oh, shit! Roman pulled a Guerrero. Roman pulled an Eddie Guerrero. And... oh, fuck no. Roman Reigns just pulled an Eddie Guerrero and is now just drenched in blood. He cut an artery open. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Roman Reigns split an artery open. And blading was deemed no. Roman Reigns. Oh, God. Ugh. It's hard. It's... he Guerrero'd it. I mean, not as bad as Guerrero. Oh, maybe as bad as Guerrero. Maybe as bad as Guerrero. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's as bad as Guerrero. No. That's really bad. I don't know if that's as bad as Guerrero yet. That fat kid in the crowd is like, no. Brock beat Roman. Wow. Wow. Roman lost. Roman Guerrero'd it pretty badly. Wow. Is that Roman's wife?
German suplexes,
God damn.
F5s through tables, a busted open face. But in the end, the beast Brock Lesnar reigns supreme. And you're right, Corey, they were the elbows. Right? They pointed the elbow on the face. The second or third one opened.
Oh no, you know what? Brock opened up Roman the hard way.
Lit a fire inside the big dog. But the fire was not enough to topple the Universal Champion.
I thought we were going to see a new champion right there.
Look at the rage on the face, in the eyes of Reigns. Everything he had left behind to wind up.
Wow.
With Lesnar with one more F5. And still Universal Champion.
How are they gonna work that around?
Lesnar, what an incredible night in New Orleans at Wrestlemania. Wrestlemania moments were made. But in the end, the beast still reigns supreme.
Yeah, here comes Hulk Hogan. Right? No. That's it. That was WrestleMania. That's it.
Randy Orton set to defend in a fatal four-way.
Well, that's WrestleMania. So that being said, thanks for joining me, guys. I mean, Brock won. That's really all I can say. I can't say much good about it. It was boring. I mean, honestly, the only reason I would have wanted Roman to win was because I'm sick and tired of the Universal title treated like bullshit. I mean, if I can lower the volume for a second, and while I have four of you here, look at it this way. You know the WWE is not going to say, oh yeah, well the WWE title, it's much more prestigious than the Universal title, unless it was something in it for them. You know, they're just stubborn cocks. You know, when you know, the Fabulous Moolah Invitational Tournament thing, whatever, was criticized online, they responded by just turning off their comment section. It took people, fans, to go to the goddamn sponsor of WrestleMania, Mars Incorporated, that owns Snickers, and write to them and say, hey, you know, they're naming a match after somebody who pimped out their own goddamn students. You want to do something about this? I mean, that should be the way we solve all problems, by just talking to their sponsors, but, you know, then they only change it when, you know, it works against them. The WWE Universal title has been held by 4 people: Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Goldberg, and Brock Lesnar. The latter of the two defended it, well, actually, Goldberg defended it consistently, but he only had it for 1 month. He had it for 1 month. Brock Lesnar has had it for a year and has made it feel like dog shit. It's been worthless. It took down the prestige of it fucking 10-some. Finn Balor held it for a fucking day and still hasn't gotten his rematch. And then on top of all of that, Kevin Owens, his goddamn championship reign. He is the best Universal Champion that the entire belt has seen. And his title reign was a joke. And it's not even his fault. The best reign that a World Championship has ever seen was a joke. I thought this was the Universal title, not the fucking Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Championship. Come on, are you kidding me? For fuck's sake, if you're gonna put a title on a part-timer, at least have the part-timer come around and make the title feel worth something. I mean, Jesus Christ, Brock Lesnar, for fuck's sake, Brock Lesnar has had it for a year. He's fought Samoa Joe, he's fought Braun Strowman, and he's fought Roman Reigns. Those are the only singles matches he's competed in since he won the title at last year's Mania. The fucking match with Reigns only felt big because it was just out there. It's like, yeah, he never shows up, so let me just talk about that. The beforehand of the two, if Brock had just taken the title and when he went in to fight Samoa Joe, or when he went in to fight Braun Strowman, at least make the title feel worth something so people want to watch the match. He didn't even do that right. So if you're gonna put it on a part-timer, at least have the part-timer make the belt feel special when he comes up, not just himself. Fuck's sake, fuck you, Brock. Jesus Christ. And I'll tell you this, I tell everybody this a million times. I don't care who you fucking are. I don't care what the fuck you do. If you're a piece of shit champion or can't do shit for your... There's Roman Reigns after the match. Or you can't do shit in your championship reign, I will call you a fucking worthless piece of shit as a champion. I don't give a shit. Brock, you are a worthless piece of shit as champion. Here's Roman Reigns after the match. Walking around ringside. People have already started leaving. God, talk about ending WrestleMania on a sour fucking note. Neither way it ended could have been good. One of which would have been shocking. The other which we'd be content with. I mean, for fuck's sake. Oh my God. I just hate Brock's reign. If Brock Lesnar were to drop the title tomorrow to fucking... you know what? I would have rather had Reigns win it tonight, because at least it'd be built back up. You know what I mean? But no, it's off on the shelf again until, like, what, SummerSlam? The greatest Royal Rumble? Brock vacates it? God damn it. Damn it. His entire reign sucks. I mean, I can't even say major props to either of them. I mean, you know he feels like shit, and I feel for the poor guy. That was a weird fucking ending.
Looking for something to binge on WWE Network?
No, I'm not, because all your fucking shit sucks. Hence why I look forward to Call to Greatness so much. Hence why I look forward to Wrestle Kingdom so much. Hence why I look forward to Supercard of Honor so much. Hence why I look forward to fucking any NXT show other than your... Roman just doesn't have it. I don't see him as a superstar. I don't either. But at least he'd fight every week. At least he'd make the championship feel like a world championship. Hell, even if he used it to elevate himself, he'd still be doing more with the title than Braun did. Oh my god, I just... Oh my god. God, this is why I look forward to literally any other good show than WrestleMania, because I know that the WWE will fuck it up in some way. God damn it, I hate this. I just... Oh my god, WWE, you just... you suck. God damn it. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. I hear you on that. But the writers are the one... Yeah, of course they are the ones to blame. It's just... There's nothing we can do about it. Because if any of us do something, then nobody else does it. You know, it's like... The only way I could ever see the WWE taking what we want or what we say seriously... Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want them to give us everything we want. Because at that point in time, we become spoiled. And... I'm in the wrestling business myself. I compete for a promotion that values storytelling and wrestling ability over everything. And we're always taught, don't give outright the fans everything they want, because then they become spoiled, then they become entitled, and you don't want that from a passionate crowd, because then they're not passionate, they're just bitchy. I don't want the WWE to give us every single thing we want, but Jesus Christ, I mean, when they value part-timers, Brock Lesnar has fought in 0 Raw matches, 0 SmackDown matches, 0 main event or Superstars matches, 0 NXT matches, 0 205 Live matches at all on a weekly show since he came back to the company in 2012. USW didn't even exist then. What was it, 2011? I think it may have been 2011. At that point in time, WOW was still around. Are you kidding me? And then you got another guy, like, I don't know, Heath Slater, who's on every show. I mean, he's at least at every show. Maybe not even booked on every show. And he's treated like a joke. Yet Brock Lesnar comes over and he's like, yeah, I'm hot shit. I'm the Universal Champion. I was a WWE Champion and never showed up for shit. Fuck you, you lobster-faced piece of shit. God damn it. I mean, the only way I could see the WWE taking storytelling seriously is if we all, as a collective group, and I don't mean a specific set of people on Reddit, I don't mean a specific set of people on Twitter, or on Instagram, or Snapchat, or whoever gives a fuck. I don't mean just a specific set of people that are angry and bitching at the TV set because they don't get what they want. I'm not talking about just a small minority of people. I'm talking about literally every single person that has ever been fucked over by the storytelling by WWE because the WWE doesn't give a shit and just going right to their sponsors, right to Coca-Cola, right to Snickers and Mars Incorporated, right to Hershey's, so on and so forth. At that point in time, the WWE would listen. I just brought up the analogy a couple of minutes ago. The whole fabulous Moolah, Women's Battle Royal that was named after somebody that, or allegedly, I'll say allegedly because there was no proof, I guess, allegedly pimped out her students to other promoters for sex, so on and so forth. And anybody that went to the WWE's YouTube page and complained in their YouTube section, they didn't give a shit. They just closed the comment section down and thought that was it. Well, they can't do anything now. And then a small group of people on Reddit went and told the Mars Incorporated thing, who owns Snickers, which were the main sponsor of the WWE, about this whole thing, and then they went to the WWE. And then the WWE was like, well, fuck, fine. That's the only way the WWE will take any sort of storytelling seriously. That's why I review things like USW and Ring of Honor and NXT and New Japan so much on this show, or on this channel, because anybody that finds me, the small minority people, the 3 people in the chat right now, or the 84 people subscribed to me, can at least see real wrestling, real storytelling, what a real fucking company is compared to this bullshit. I mean, you have a great show like Wrestlemania, so on. It was open great. The matches were fantastically put together. There was a proper amount of storytelling put into place, and then you kill it on a sour note. God, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, I'm not one of those people that go, oh yeah, well the WWE will be better off once Vince McMahon's dead, or the WWE will be better off when the XFL finally takes off and Vince's attention is elsewhere. Like, I'm not gonna be that guy that rants about, oh, how the WWE would be better if this and that, and so on and so forth. But Jesus Christ, when you've got an obvious fucking position here, you've got AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, which obviously will sell much better than Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns, of such, is hailed as this next superstar of the future, yet has not sold more merchandise than fucking Rusev, who they look at as, well, we know how they look at Rusev. He hasn't been as nearly as popular as more than half the fucking mid-card. You don't hear people chanting, let's go Roman, at the top of their lungs. Hell, some kids even chant Roman sucks when they do the whole let's go Roman sucks thing. And the only time you managed to get involved with Roman Reigns is when they fucking brought up Brock Lesnar's absence. They took Brock Lesnar's fault just to make you cheer for Roman Reigns. And even that didn't work. Hell, even if Dean Ambrose's elbow decided not to be a piece of shit and Seth Rollins stuck around with the Shield, that still would have hurt. You end WrestleMania on a low note. You got, hell, even Undertaker versus Cena would have been a better way to end the show. You have Roman lose to Brock Lesnar, and I'm not going to complain about the outcome. Hell, I know WWE wants to shock you at least once a pay-per-view. Hence why I pick guys like Dolph Ziggler to win the Royal Rumble, because they want to shock you at least once a fucking show. But when you got a great show, a really fun show, a really energetic show that people are into, you don't close it out on a note like Brock Lesnar beating Roman Reigns and then proceed to have the whole video package after the goddamn show and then have Roman Reigns solemnly walk up the goddamn ramp like he's Bambi looking for his fucking mother. God damn it, this doesn't work. You don't do this. This is not wrestling. This is bullshit. This is garbage. This is horseshit. And I'm just about done watching anything WWE related. I don't watch the weekly shows anymore. The only reason I knew about the whole John Cena and Roman Reigns angles were because I caught up on shit on YouTube. And even after 2.5 minutes, I couldn't bear it anymore. The only reason I even watched WrestleMania was because TakeOver was so good, and I wanted to see how WrestleMania could even try to come near it. Not even top it, because nobody would top it. Oh my god. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be the guy that stands here and goes, oh, well, it was a bad main event, so therefore the entire show was bad. But you definitely put a fucking damp sock over it. I mean, god damn it. And Call to Greatness is in 21 days. I completely urge you to watch that on pay-per-view and USW Intake. Wrestle Kingdom every single January 4th. I urge you to watch those. Super Card of Honor, which is always on WrestleMania weekend. Any other independent show on WrestleMania weekend. Every TakeOver, because they always knock it out of the park. 2 matches were good, and even those were Ronda and Ric Flair's... I mean, yes. I mean, I would suggest Styles and Nakamura was good as well, but... I mean, I was yawning a lot through that, but just because I've been tired and I didn't have coffee today. But, I mean, yes, Charlotte versus Asuka was good, and it had a very unpredictable finish. That was great storytelling, and especially when Asuka said, Charlotte is ready for Asuka. Kind of passing on the fact that, okay, these are 2 big, important figures in the women's division. Now do something with it, which the WWE fucking won't do. Then on top of that, they have Braun Strowman for weeks go on about, oh yeah, we have this tag team partner that I'll show you on the fucking day. And it could be Bobby Lashley, it could be Samoa Joe, it could be Elias, it could be Kurt Hawkins, it could be James fucking Ellsworth. He goes into the crowd, and granted, I'll admit, it was funny as all hell. He goes into the crowd and picks up a 10-year-old kid who probably has to go to school tomorrow. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, I can't be the only one pissed off at this, right? I mean, there are 3 of you watching right now. Tell me if I'm wrong. And if I am wrong, then hell, maybe I'll even quit working for USW, because I obviously know nothing about professional wrestling. But then again, what do I know? This isn't professional wrestling, it's sports entertainment. Yet when you think of wrestling, you think WWE. And it pisses me off with promotions like USW and Ring of Honor and New Japan and Evolve and Progress. No, I'm not. Lazy ass writers. Thank you very much. I'm glad. I'm so glad I can keep my paycheck coming in. But you think it sucks, because when you think of wrestling, when you talk to somebody about wrestling, you always have to go and mention WWE. Whenever I tell anybody I'm a wrestler, people ask me, or what kind of wrestling? I go, WWE style. Not because it's the WWE style, but because it's the only thing I know they know. So the WWE, and I'm not going to clamor on them for making their 3 letters synonymous with the industry overall. I think it's fantastic. It's a great business model and shows exactly how important and influential and overall fantastic their whole marketing team and their whole executive team has been over the past 2 decades. But at the same time, when your 3 letters are synonymous with professional wrestling, and when people think of professional wrestling, they think of those 3 letters, you then have a fucking commitment to fulfill. You then are the bearer of professional wrestling. So you don't rename it or reshape it in your image. You don't fucking just do whatever the fuck you want with it. You don't go Willy Wonka in the goddamn chocolate factory with it. And you sure as hell don't fucking put a damn sock on it. I mean, fuck you. You don't deserve any more of my time. I watched the Clash Wrestling. I like Zero Mito. He is one of. I will absolutely check that out then, because if it's anything other than the WWE, I guarantee you it's pretty damn good, at least in comparison. And WrestleMania 34 overall, decent show. I mean, decent is a little. It was a good show. It was a fun show. You had matches like Rollins and Balor and Miz, which kept me going. You had Nakamura and Styles with a shock ending, though it was kind of predictable once he stayed on the knee. You had matches like Charlotte and Asuka. You had matches that may not have been fantastic, but were filled with story, like Alexa Bliss against Nia Jax, and Bludgeon Brothers, Usos, New Day. And then you overall had the fantastic stories of like, oh, he's back. The Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon thing against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Shane McMahon fighting valiantly with diverticulitis. And then Undertaker coming back and squashing John Cena, which is something nobody saw coming. And then you end it with Brock Lesnar retaining the goddamn licorice belt and doing nothing with it until August. Almost August. I mean, what's he going to do? Defend it in the UFC? He's going to walk in with that piece of shit and they're going to go, ha 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 ha. Conor McGregor, I wish he would have thrown a fucking bar stool through your bus. I mean, Jesus Christ. This is... You just don't... And I'm not the guy that goes, oh, well, WWE will be better once Vince McMahon's dead. Just you wait. I don't like blaming Vince McMahon completely for the creative department decisions, despite him having the final say. Because being in a level that I am in a specific wrestling company where I can be involved in creative meetings and seeing what goes into piecing everything together, I know every show at least has more than one person ruling the roost over the creative department. Though maybe not to the highest extent that Vince McMahon has right now, but I guarantee you it's not just Vince McMahon. But that doesn't mean it's not people trying to kiss Vince McMahon's ass. I mean, Kevin Dunn, so on and so forth. Everybody that's just like, yes, sir, that's a great idea, sir. I mean, you couldn't think of a better example. No, you may think it's the worst WrestleMania. I don't think it was the worst WrestleMania. That would definitely go to 9 or 27 or hell, even 32 at this point. But when it comes to everybody that's like, oh yeah, Vince, that's a great idea. Just like when he had the WrestleMania 25 tagline, be the 25th anniversary, despite it, not being the 25th anniversary. It's like, yeah, you understand that in that moment, You know Vince McMahon came up with that, and everybody was too scared to tell him otherwise. I'm not one of those guys that likes to blame Vince McMahon for everything, but you gotta understand, John Cena main evented 3 WrestleManias in a row at most, and he will never main event another WrestleMania as long as we go, unless it's against The Undertaker or if it's a career versus whatever match. Roman Reigns has been in the company for 5.5 years. He debuted in November of 2012. It is now April of 2018. It has been 5.5 years, and he's main evented 4 WrestleManias. 4 fucking WrestleManias. And the one other WrestleMania match that he did not main event, he squashed somebody in. Oh no, I'm sorry, my apologies. Let me correct myself. The 2 WrestleMania matches that he wasn't a part of single-handedly, he squashed people. Who do you think from NXT is ready to move up on up to Raw or SmackDown? Give Gargano and Ciampa 2-3 months. Is it because he's The Rock's family? Is it the Vince McMahon's idea for? I mean, let me just quickly round off a couple of NXT names, and I'll get to that question in a minute. Gargano and Ciampa in maybe 2 or 3 months. The Iconic Duo, absolutely, because their mic work has been fantastic. Andrade Almas, Aleister Black once he drops the NXT title. I think Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era will be up there once they got the numbers game finalized, and I'll throw out one more just for shits and giggles, and I'll go Lars Sullivan, just that way you can have an equivalent of Braun Strowman on the SmackDown roster. Now, when it comes down to is it because he's a part of the Rock's family? I don't think so. I just think Vince sees something in Roman that we can't see. You know, I mean, everybody's from a different era of wrestling. My era of wrestling was the Ruthless Aggression era of wrestling. A lot of modern fans are from the PG era of professional wrestling, and a lot of fans are from the Attitude era of wrestling, the new generation of fans of wrestling. And so we all have different ways of looking at professional wrestling. I mean, it wasn't too long ago where Harley Race was talked about killing the business, and now you look at the Young Bucks doing flips and tricks every single match, and everybody's off their arms. Oh my God, that's a ludicrous. That's not wrestling. That's not my wrestling. And then you have people, you know, ramming on Dave Meltzer for liking New Japan. Can you blame him compared to WrestleMania? I mean, not WrestleMania compared to WWE. God damn it, I would take the worst New Japan show over any WWE WrestleMania. Hell, unless it was X7. Unless it was WrestleMania X7, I would take the worst New Japan show over a WWE show. Hell, I'd probably take one of the near worst WCW pay-per-views over WWE shows. Gotta be kidding me. You have such a fucking palette of wrestling. You've got the Japanese style with Shinsuke Nakamura and Asuka, and you've got a litany of other branches of wrestling: technical, high-flying, powerhouse, grappling, submission-based, high octane. It's like you've got a whole litany of this. And you have Roman Reigns lose to Brock Lesnar. Do you think now that Alberto Del Rio is fired from TNA, WWE will want or have him back? That's a tough one to say, because Alberto Del Rio is one of those troublemakers, and you know, I've seen guys like him, you know, that think a specific way or model their business ways a specific way, very similar to him. They don't succeed very long. I think Del Rio should go back to what his roots were, and I think he'll find himself most successful at that. I don't think the WWE will want him back. I think the WWE would take him back if the timing was right, but they wouldn't do much with him in the long run. Look at his last run-in with John Cena winning the U.S. title and then doing nothing. And even Impact didn't really use him properly, but there was no real way for Impact to use him properly. They were still rebuilding. I don't know about his future, and I don't know what you can really say about his future with either company, but I don't think WWE would really have much for him or a reason to bring him back other than to even out the numbers of the brand split, which is dying at this point. And TNA would probably take anybody right now. They'd take James Ellsworth, and I think they did take James Ellsworth for that matter, so there's that. But God, hell, you know what? If anybody's in the comments right now, shoot me a pay-per-view that you think was was worse than WrestleMania, or was worse than a lot of other pay-per-views that company put on. And I'll tell you if I take them over a WWE show. So who is going to take the title from Brock? That's their problem now. I mean, they built for months. Like, he took Braun Strowman down with one F5. He took Samoa Joe out with one F5. And then, Roman Reigns, oh, the spear, it will kill everybody. They built up both moves so that way at WrestleMania, they could just kick out of them all willy-nilly. And now now Brock Lesnar's F5 has been kicked out of a million times by Roman Reigns. And what? For what? For Brock and his lobster face to just leave with the title? It's stupid. It's absolute ludicrous. The audacity. I wish it was Strowman. Honestly, I wish it would be Strowman too. But you know what? I don't think so. Not with, his... I mean, granted, they could take the tag team titles off of him tomorrow night. I'm not going to tune in to watch because fuck Raw. Why did they bury Dolph Ziggler? He's a way better star in every way than Roman because Dolph Ziggler's not Roman. Dolph Ziggler wasn't John Cena. Dolph Ziggler is not a top guy in their eyes. Hell, why do you think guys like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks refuse to go to the WWE? They don't have creative freedom. They don't have a lot of leeway in terms of how they're used and what they can do. And they're better off on the independent scene with Cody and Marty and Hangman and Okada and Naito and Ishii and Lethal and Castle and so on and so forth, revolutionizing the wrestling industry from outside of the WWE. Hell, that's why I haven't left USW. I left USW in 2016, January 2016. Was there any guest spots in the Women's Battle Royal like Hall of Famers? No Hall of Famers, but there were a lot of NXT women like Tainara Conti, I've never gotten that name right, Bianca Belair, Peyton Royce, Dakota Kai, so on and so forth, and Kairi Sane. But I left USW in January of 2016, Bobby Lashley coming back to take the title from Brock. Not going to happen. But I like the idea. And my idea was to go onto the independent scene once I turned 18, which I am now, and further music. I wanted to go back to USW because I just could not be away from wrestling, for one. But at the same time, I wanted to just change wrestling from the outside. If All In draws 10,000 buys, that absolutely could be considered a competition to the WWE. Hell, it kind of started this weekend with the whole Louisiana Board of Boxing and Wrestling. They did the whole, you can't powerbomb people, you can't lock in a label lock at a 98-degree angle whilst the moon is in a lunar eclipse stage. They had all of those restrictions on for everybody. The Impact and Lucha Underground combination shows, any PWG show, or not PWG shows, any lower indie shows. At this point, we got Dead Man Taker instead of American Badass Hagar. I'm a little disappointed in it as well, but at the same time, I can see why they did it. And it didn't matter much because they weren't out there for long. But at the same time, they had two promotions excluded from those rules. WWE and Ring of Honor. So they looked at Ring of Honor as the big leagues. So that's just the small start. How did Ronda Rousey do in her first match? She actually didn't do too badly. She needs to get real wrestling attire because she kept pulling down on the shorts to get them to go down and the shirt. I mean, I don't mind a wardrobe malfunction. I mean, it's embarrassing for her, but fantastic for my eyes. But yeah, I think for the future reference, get better gear. Get better gear. Just for your own sake. But yeah, she didn't do too badly. Honestly, it was cool that they didn't protect her that much and that they had faith in her to go a ways without botching or without looking too exposed. So I think that shows a lot of hope in the WWE executive eyes for Ronda Rousey. Now hopefully she'll be there every week from now on and earn her keep. So yeah, that was WrestleMania 34. Really wish there was a better way to end it off on than a rant. But if you want more rants like that, subscribe! Hey, I'll probably be doing more review or more reactions in the future to NXT shows and pay-per-views for most likely WWE, just because I have the network, and why not put the money to use. Ring of Honor, New Japan. I don't do it to USW shows because I'm performing at the shows, so it's a little weird to look at myself wrestle and at the same time have to entertain you. But, you know, nothing against you, but it's just weird to look at myself on the screen and then criticize myself in front of you in live time, but you get the point. Yeah, wish that could have been, or there could have been a better way to send off the Mania 34 reactions. Yeah. Really disappointing ending. But, I think we can all agree TakeOver New Orleans was much better. The Twitter moment of, oh, TakeOver just ran away with WrestleMania weekend was fucking right. So for a change in storytelling. And a change for the better. So, yeah. That being said, thank you very much for watching. I sincerely hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment. Do you think Asuka will now go after the Raw Women's title? No. I think she'll be headed over to SmackDown in due time. I think they're going to have to even out the women's and tag teams divisions because they're heavily in SmackDown's favor at the moment. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I sincerely hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. I'm Zach Hardy, and I'm going to go sober up and then proceed to drown out my sorrows again. So, love y'all. Have a great night.